Hey guys, yeah, a little bit of a different video today, as this is going to be my first attempt at a theory. Ah, yes, I can hear everyone collectively not making a sound because there's going to be no one watching this, but I don't care because I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to ignore all of you who don't exist, and Paul, who does exist, is probably just going to go and comment on this video, but it's all cool. But there are some details about Ruin which confuse me. So I don't have any. I have almost no evidence whatsoever at the moment. But I just wanted to share a couple of my thoughts. I don't know if this is so much of a theory as it is like me sharing my ideas. I have no idea about any of this. Don't take my word for it. Like do your own research and stuff, I guess. But just the biggest thing that stuck out to me is the entire section where you have to deactivate Roxy, whatever you want to call her. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But if you look at the menu description of your objective at that moment, it says like, "Oh, deactivate Roxy. Don't think about it." She's not a node. She isn't the final node. That was a blatant lie. Admittedly, you can't actually go through the doorway to go down without deactivating her, which doesn't even deactivate her, ironically. But the game makes you do it, and it's clearly saying that this is not a node, this is not true, but it makes you do it anyway. So to me, that tells me that the mimic, the thing down in the basement, the big bad of the game who's tricking you, luring you down, pretending to be Gregory, it wants Roxy deactivated. Specifically Roxy, none of the others. In fact, you actually help, like, Sun and Moon at the start of the game, pretty much, helping him, and then he becomes Eclipse. It makes you help him, but it wants to specifically deactivate Roxy? Why? What is so specifically special about her that it wants her gone, not any others? Admittedly, you do electrocute Monty, but the game doesn't tell you to do that. That just happens sort of accidentally. And Sheikah just sort of sits down in a bathroom. And I still don't know what her beak is about. I'm still trying to work on that. I still don't think that Steelwool would have left in that if it was part of some scrapped ending, which I think some people think. I don't believe that, personally. I get why some people I completely understand why people would come to that conclusion. I can see that. But I can't personally believe, unless like it's confirmed by Steelwool, but until then, I cannot believe that they would leave that in accidentally or as like just a little Easter egg where you can give Chica her voice box back, but it just doesn't have any effect. There must be, at least to me, there has to be something more to that, something that we haven't figured out yet. I plan on doing a little more investigating. I think that when I looked, I didn't look with the mask, or maybe I did, or like I plan to look specifically in the torso where the trash bag falls out, because they made a point of that, like you sort of look down as the trash bag falls. So maybe there's something specifically with the trash bag or something in her torso that you can only see either in AR or in without the AR mask on. But something about that it is significant, and I haven't worked out what yet. If it's not something to do with the trash bag falling out of her stomach, then the only other thing I can think of is the voice line she uses when you do is "I smell pizza." So I don't know, maybe there's like a pizza somewhere in the map that you have to go and find, or like an area where they serve pizza somewhere in the map. My first thought is that it might be something to do with the bakery. Something in the bakery has changed, maybe. I may end up going back there and doing a little more investigating. Maybe it's something to do with the arcade game. Maybe once you give her a voice box, you go back to the arcade game and something changes there. But you do also keep the voice box. If you go back and use chapter select, you can actually, you still have it at the very start, and some people thought maybe you use it at the start as well and something else happens, but you can't actually use it on her at the start, or at least I tried and I couldn't. It feels like there's more to it that we just haven't figured out yet, and I'm hoping that there is more to it and this wasn't just like a scrapped ending, because that feels really that would feel really disappointing. I do also, at this point, at the point I'm making this video, I have not gotten that secret ending, or like there's like, I think there's like 2 secret endings you can get, both of which are confusing, and one of them is more confusing than the other, and I'll get to that in a video. Whether or not I release that before this one, I don't know. Again, you guys will know based on when this video comes out. But it feels very bizarre that those endings don't have that much of an explanation. Like, one of them makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. There's no logic to it at all. The other one kind of does. I can see why that would be the ending, but also, I mean, it probably wouldn't be the canon ending if the Mimic is still going to be like the Mimic is like being the new big bad of the series. I don't know. It's just something about it just feels very off. Something about it like it feels like we're still missing something, and I'm hoping that like the theorist community is gonna like figure that out. I cannot wait for game theory, the game theorist Matt Patton, that the bunch of them. I can't think of a better way to say that, but I can't wait for them to release. But I can't wait for them to release a theory on this, where maybe they figured it out, like someone figured out what it is. Because I'm so curious. I got invested in this game, and now I really want to know what happens. I want to figure it out, but I don't know how to do it alone because I don't really have the right kind of brain to be able to solve puzzles like that. I don't think I've never been particularly good at making theories, or at least I haven't really tried it. I haven't really given it. I've never really done it before, so I'm fairly new, so I don't really know what I'm doing. But I still do plan on looking into to Chica's Beak. I don't know if there are like a bunch of like secret lore bits that are literally just random items scattered throughout the map that have like text on them with like a message or something that is relevant. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to find those. I don't really have the right kind of mentality for that. Or maybe not mentality, but the right kind of brain. Another thing I wanted to touch on, I'm sure everyone knows by now that if you deactivate all of the caution bots, you unlock something behind Bonnie Bowl, and Bonnie's there, like Glamrock Bonnie's there, and it's currently bugged for chapter select at the moment, where you can't get the final one. I don't know if I've gotten all of them. I believe I have collected all of the bots, but like the final one that spawns in Bonnie Bowl doesn't work with chapter select. I don't know if there are caution bots after Bonnie Bowl. I don't think that there are any after Bonnie Bowl, if I remember. I might be remembering it wrong. I think it's just collectibles after that point, because it wouldn't make sense, like, if you're supposed to collect them all in one run, and then because then you'd have to go back to Bonnie Bowl anyway, you'd have to, like, chapter select back there anyway. I don't know if that, like, I think that breaks it. They're coming out with a patch, at least they said, but, like, what implication does that have? Because if Bonnie was taken out by Monty, Bonnie was last seen in Monty Golf, so how did he get from Monty Golf to being stored behind Bonnie Bowl again? How did he get from A to B? Did Monty bring him there after destroying him to like hide him or something? Hide the evidence? Or did Bonnie get destroyed at that place behind the bowling alley? I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see if there's any more context behind that. But it is at least nice to know where he is. An interesting thing to note is that I think a lot of people were of the belief that Bonnie was destroyed to be used as parts for Burn Trap in the security breach, one of the security breach endings. But it doesn't look like based on him being in Ruin and being relatively intact looking, I don't think that could have been the case. I don't think he could have been used for that. So that then begs the question, why was he destroyed? If it was just Monty wanting to be part of the band, I mean, based on Roxy towards the end of the game, I don't think that the personalities that we got to know during Security Breach are their actual personalities. I think that it's like some like heightened extreme end version of them, where Chica is obsessed with eating, like has a psychotic eating disorder. Monty's incredibly violent. Roxanne is incredibly vain. But like in Ruin, I don't know if it's just because you wear the mask at that moment, but also you do hear her like talk. Sort of, Roxy talks more like Glamrock Freddy towards the end. Like, she's like, I remember. She talks more like Freddy is the best way I can describe it. If you can remember what Freddy talks like. I don't know if that's like her getting a reboot and then she's like back to normal, rid of whatever was causing her to act so weirdly during Security Breach, which I think everyone thinks is like the Vanny, well, it's like Vanny, like, controlling them, like, messing with their programming to, like, hunt down Gregory. But, like, I'm trying to find the best way to explain this, because I'm not very good at this. I'm still, like, this is literally the first time I've ever done this. But she starts behaving a lot more like Freddy does in Security Breach. But then towards the end, she, like, becomes kind of aggressive protecting Cassie, but also I think Freddy does that as well. So I feel like she does actually become a lot more like Freddy to the end after getting, like, the shock to her system that was, like, grabbing Cassie and Cassie screaming like, let go, and she's like, oh my god, I'm sorry. Like, that kind of, like, snaps her out of it. But the weird thing is that, I mean, I've already stated this, but, like, again, that it's weird that she specifically has to be deactivated. Like, that's what the Mimic is, like, trying to get us to do at the end. Like, she wants us to do at the end, and we literally can't progress unless we do that. We have to deactivate Roxy. But she's not a node, so why does she need to be deactivated? What threat does she represent to it? I feel like these are questions that we might already have answers to if we look hard enough, but it just feels a bit weird. And actually, speaking of Freddy, something that I completely managed to miss, which is funny because I didn't even miss it. I started to read the thing on his foot, and I was like, oh, what is that? What does that say? Is it property? No, it's prototype. It's not the actual Freddy that we get to meet in Security Breach, I don't think. It's a different Freddy. So maybe Gregory's friend, who he mentions at the end, is actually Freddy, and, like, there's just a prototype Freddy who got left behind in the thing. But that's weird, because why are there two Freddys? Like, I get maybe they have multiple, like, maybe they just have multiple of the suits for different endos to wear, and maybe they've just put another suit on a different endo, but then all of the other animatronics are still completely destroyed, so did they just replace them as well and leave the other ones around? But they didn't, because, I don't know, it just seems weird that there would be two Freddys, but also that can't be the same Freddy, because it's got, like, prototype on the foot, and I think someone pointed out that the Freddy in Security Breach doesn't have anything written on his foot, so it's, like, I don't know, it's weird, it's confusing that there would be two Freddys. But why is there a second Freddy, and why is he the one who's headless in Phasor Blast? Like, I don't know. I think it's the Vanny ending as well, where he gets, like, destroyed in Phasor Blast, and that's kind of why I thought that was the Freddy from there, and that was the canon ending then, because he's destroyed in Phasor Blast. I don't remember if his head was, like, significant or something, anything was called attention to his head. Again, I do plan on playing Security Breach, and I can do that. I'd be happy to do that for the channel as well, but, like, I don't know, I'd be interested to hear, like, your thoughts in the comments. Anyone really, like, Pool, anyone who watches this video, like, your comments, your thoughts would be greatly appreciated, because I'm trying to make sense of this, and I'm still trying to figure things out myself, but I'd appreciate any, like, guidance, any ideas that you have that I can look into maybe in the game. And, like, yeah, this isn't so much of a theory as it is me trying to call attention to some odd facts and details that I've noticed that I haven't figured out yet, but I want to figure out. So, like, this is more just me getting down my thoughts in a video to try and make sense of them all. And there's I guess the closest thing to a theory I have is, like, there is something specific about Roxy which the Mimic has to get rid of because it's a threat to it. And I don't know what that is yet, but I want to know. I want to know if anyone has any ideas, because it'll be helpful. It'll be like, okay, because I don't know, other than the fact that she does defy getting deactivated to come down and save Cassie, and she's like, get out of here quickly. You need to get out of here. It's not safe. I don't know. Just something about that just feels... It feels like there's almost something there, but we don't quite have enough of the information yet to be able to fully come up with an idea yet. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's about everything I wanted to talk about. Yeah, until we have more information, I don't think that there's a lot that we can do, or at least until people find more information, like, what does Chica's beat do? Because I don't believe that Steelwool would have left in that thing if it was part of a scrapped ending. That just feels like a way too specific thing to have left in. But until we have more until we get, like, more information, we can't do anything with that at the moment. Or at least until I've maybe found some more information about that. There's not a whole lot that I can really think of, but I think that's going to do for this video. But you know, this so yeah, like this is my like first attempt at a theory, or not really a theory, but just getting my ideas down more so. But thank you all for watching, or well, listening more so. I'm gonna put like gameplay on in the background so you can actually have something to watch as well. But it's mainly gonna be me talking. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you in whatever video I make next. Possibly a ruin video, maybe just a security breach video, but whatever it is, I hope to see you all there. Goodbye.